going to look at a revelation that God gave me on this week. And we're going to talk about due season. The word teaches us not to be weary in well doing. And it says, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. In other words, everything that we are hoping for, everything that we are believing God for, we can get that if we don't give up. Our focus, though, is going to be on the phrase due season. Now, there are those who are very romantic and very charismatic, and they have started teaching that earth has more than 4 seasons, and it has 5. And it says winter, spring, summer, and fall, and due season. That's not altogether true. That's not altogether true. Earth has 4 seasons: winter, spring, summer, and fall. And what we need to learn from this is what seasons actually are. If we understand what seasons actually are, then we'll be more apt to function the way we should function when it is our season, or when our season is due. In the original language, the word season means a time that's been appointed for things to come together. It is a time that's been appointed for opportunity. That season in the original language. And so when we speak of our being in our season, or our season coming due, what we're actually saying is it is a time when everything that God has promised us and everything that he has put us through has now culminating together to bring forth our destiny, to take us to that place, or take us to those rewards that he has promised us. The thing that I want us to focus in on this week is the word season. The word season. Knowing that it is an appointed time and an appointed thing, a place for things to come together and for opportunities to come according to the original language. What this teaches us is that when God created earth and he gave earth 4 seasons, winter, spring, summer, and fall, in each of these seasons, if we would notice, every season dictates something. We don't function the same all year round. When it's summer, we live differently. We eat differently. We wear different clothes. Why? Because the season dictates what we should wear and how we should eat. The same thing with each season. Each season has things that comes due when that season comes in. It's how that season functions. If we are going to take this to a spiritual context, let's look at season according to how God created seasons to be. They are cycles of times when things that God has spoken come due. That's why we have to be so careful that we're listening to and following closely the things and the mandates of God. Otherwise, we can miss our season. That's part of the fainting. We think fainting only in the context of giving up, but sometimes fainting can be not paying close enough attention to what God has said for us to do. God is a meticulous God. Everything he tells us to do has a purpose, has a reason. We as humans sometimes, we get real silly and we think we need to tweak everything God says to suit us. We think God must have meant this rather than asking God what he meant. And because we reason this way, sometimes it causes us to miss seasons. It is not so much that our season is not upon us many times. Many times it's because we're missing opportunities. Things have come together. God is speaking certain things now because now is the time for it to come forth. But we're missing our season because we're missing the time when things are coming together. We're missing those times when God has brought everything together that's due. There are certain things that are dictated for each season. We know what the weather is going to be like in each season. We know what we can grow and what we can bring forth in each season. Each season can grow a certain type of crop, but you don't grow the same things in the wintertime that you grow in the summer times. Come on, somebody. And so therefore, it would behoove us to not just understand that we season? Are we wintertime people that in our season we provide those things that bring warmth and comfort to the earth? Are we a summertime season that provide those things that bring health and wealth to the body? What is our season supposed to bring forth? This is something we need to meditate on as we go through the week. Not just talking about our due season, but understanding what